This announcement was made at University Park because it's in the shadow of the federal courthouse, which is right behind me. Boone County Sheriff's Office reported multiple accidents on I-65 northbound from the 133 mile marker to 138. They say to avoid the area and to expect large delays.
So why would IMPD raid your place then?
I have no idea, and that's what I'm about to find out.
So there are a bunch of neighbors that have been concerned about your business for months. What would you like to say to them? They want to see your place shut down.
I've already done interviews with people.
This residential community is in the town of Plainfield, but right behind these homes is county property. Yesterday for early voters, the wait time was 3 hours long, but the turnout is very different today. Take a look at this.
Kendall, do you want to say anything about what happened to your daughter? Did you pull the trigger?
They've been looking at another picture that looks very different from this new one for nearly 2 years. And as more video is released from a Christmas Day bombing in Tennessee, investigators have revealed some information about that suspect as they search for a motive. Archbishop Thompson added if people do not want to take the vaccine, he hopes they will continue following all the health protocols for themselves and for others.
I tried everything I could. Stop him.
Since December, Mary York has stayed quiet, now finding the courage to step forward.
To say who my son really was, not what everybody's saying he is.
Her community knows her son as a 14-year-old who charged into Dennis Intermediate with a gun.
Just stay with me and stay calm. I know. It's okay. It's okay.
And they know her as the woman who made the first 911 call after she says her boyfriend at the time reached out. They had a problem at home.
He's telling me that my son has a gun and wants him to take him to Dennis Middle School.
She says he took 2 guns and threatened to kill her ex-boyfriend if he did not drive him to the school.
I knew he wasn't going there to hurt nobody. He was going there to take his life.
York says her son was bullied for years.
Some people who may be watching this story may think because your son was bullied, it doesn't mean that a child should go into a school with a gun.
Exactly. I do not condone anything my son did that day. Not whatsoever.
He was in the south stairway.
State police say the teen exchanged gunfire with officers, and then he took his own life. Some students were traumatized by the events that unfolded. Some felt unsafe to even go back to school. As she mourns the death of her son, York thinks of those families too.
I can only tell all them kids how sorry I am my son went in there.
Feels like it's only been maybe a month.
Time goes by fast for Libby Derman's sister, whose memory of that day has never faded away.
I'm terrified for other people that he's still out there.
There is somebody out there that did this horrendous crime.
Kelsey German was only a junior in high school when her younger sister and best friend Abby Williams were brutally murdered while walking on the Delphi Historic Trails more than 2 years ago.
The first year, I was kind of in denial. I would still go up the driveway and look at her bedroom and see if her light was on.
Kelsey doesn't want to know the details of what happened to her sister. She doesn't want that to change her memories of Libby.
Yeah, they're all we have left.
At first, she didn't want to be involved in this case at all. That was until just before her freshman year at Ball State.
Hi.
When a chance encounter at a true crime convention connected her with Michelle Cruz, who knows better than anyone what Kelsey is going through.
She was the last known victim of the Golden State Killer.
Michelle's sister was raped and murdered in 1986, and she waited more than 30 years for someone to be caught.
We had worked on the case for so long, just trying to get it out there on social media for years and years.
The suspected Golden State Killer was eventually arrested just 10 days before Kelsey and Michelle met at CrimeCon.
Realized, wow, Kelsey and I, we could just look at each other and we just knew how each other felt.
Yeah, they were dropped off Monday by a family member.
The Delphi case garnered national attention, but Michelle admits she didn't know much about it.
I don't really know too much about the case. There's probably a lot of other people that don't know too much about the case.
So she pushed Kelsey to become an advocate for Libby and start spreading the word about the Delphi killings anywhere she can.
I get notifications all the time.
Pumping out all of this information about the case on Twitter. in hopes of reaching someone who knows this man.
We believe you are hiding in plain sight.
Who may be living or working in Delphi.
I have so much more hope now that we will find him because of her. So many notifications.
Her Twitter page is also helping her grandparents get more media attention.
We're still struggling to live with the loss.
They've been on several true crime podcasts.
Libby was a people person.
I've come to meet people who get tips from people that live in different states.
Call us.
Indiana State Police has received roughly 40,000 tips so far, and First Sergeant Jerry Holman believes Kelsey's campaign is bringing some in.
We have to get them all. I mean, it doesn't matter age, gender, whoever might have heard something or knew something.
He recognizes that Kelsey's work is getting the word out to a lot of different audiences.
Who knows who's involved, who knows who's talking about it.
I just want the killer off the street so he can't do it again.
Do you feel like the case is getting more notice?
Michelle reminds Kelsey her day could come too, and the memories of her sister deepen Kelsey's desire for closure.
It gives you the answers that you need to know that it's over.
The hardener sets it off in
Finding new purpose
20 minutes or so.
after what some could see as a setback. It's the step forward that came naturally to Jim Deweese.
She lost her leg as a child.
He's crafting a new way of life for patients at his prosthetic center in Bloomington.
Very, very personal, yeah. I treat every patient like this is their only time of ever getting a leg.
Jim knows how important it is to make these pieces right, because he also lost his leg.
It's my Star Wars leg.
Doctors
My
amputated his foot in 1998
That's-
after he suffered frostbite on a backcountry trip.
Going along, I fell through some ice and plunged through my left foot and boot, and everything went into the water.
He chose a path towards helping others and learned how to make prosthetics so others in his shoes can move forward too.
This is the most rewarding thing I've ever done, to do this. So they're very, very, very expensive.
This arm is for one special patient he will help at any cost.
Because I had one hand that I was taken to the orphanage, or I was left behind in China.
Radical expressions.
18-year-old Cameron was in an orphanage for several years until Jim adopted him.
That difference means a life of poverty, a life of being discriminated against. Left with a skirt of 4, which is...
He's now almost done with high school and part of a family that appreciates being different.
Usually people treat you different, but being able to see others with limb differences and how they use them has brought me comfort.
From that point on, we've been completely best friends, just totally inseparable.
Finding his new purpose in parenthood, Jim lost one thing, yet gained so much more.
My life has been so blessed through everything.
In Bloomington, I'm Kelly Reinke, Fox 59 News.